Just, oh, we're here, we're here. It's like, what is going on? Yeah, I just changed over my Wi-Fi to my hotspot. There we go. We seem to be good. We're good. We're good. How are we doing, team? How's your Monday going? Monday mindset. I want to come and talk about weight loss, the mindset you need on your weight loss journey. Because I think for quite a few people, we get frustrated easily with the weight loss journey, and we don't really think about what that is, what it is we need in order to get us through the peaks and troughs of weight loss. I think we can start out quite excited because we're starting something new. We might have a plan in place. We're going to go and do this, we're going to go and do that. And it's great the first couple of weeks that the weight comes off, and then you get a bit frustrated and a bit annoyed, and then you stop doing what is working because you see it not to be working in terms of scale weight. So I just wanted to share a bit around mindset. So let me know, drop in the comments. If you're on StreamYard, give it your permission so I can see them. Let me know, what is your thoughts around mindset when it comes to weight loss? Are you someone who wants quick wins? Are you someone who knows you're in for the long-term health? Whereabouts is it that you feel you are? And let me know on Instagram. Quick wins and you get frustrated and then give up. Yep. I hear you. Definitely seems to be a case, right? Alrighty, so long-term health. That's all what you're saying. So ultimately, it sounds like, yes, you want the long-term health, but at the same time, you want the quick wins. You need the wins for the motivation to keep going. Okay, so let's talk about that. So starting off, you need to be what is called change ready. And if you're in the corporate world, you know about the change curve, right? The ups and downs, the peaks, the troughs. And being change ready is being ready for that thing to happen, to take place. So you might be excited about it. You want to lose the weight, you're fed up with where you are. The pain of where you are right now has got to the point that you no longer want to live the way you are. And that might be in terms of what you're eating. It might be about how you're feeling. It might be just not being able to fit into the clothes you love. It might be all of those things. But before we do something, the pain has to get so much that it spurs us to make the change. Now, it would be great if we didn't have to wait to that point, but let's be honest, we're human. And for me, certainly, I had my wake up call, as many of you will know from my leg break and the state of my health. That was my wake up call. And I hope to help women get their wake up call before something happens to them medically, that involves them being on long-term medication or ending up in hospital or whatever. I hope to prevent you from being in that place by accident or through long-term ill health, but I hope to help you, stop you, prevent you from being in that place of ill health in some form or another to get your wake-up call. I want you to kind of look at your body, not in a way of going, oh my God, it's disgusting, but I want you to look at your body. Don't get me wrong, I know you're going to be critical about it, and think, actually, what is it telling me? Because the outside isn't just about how we look to others. The outside is a bit of a trigger, a bit of a what's going on, what's not working for us. Because there's many people who you define as slim who get bloating because the food they're eating isn't working for them. And I get many clients who come to me going, oh my God, it looks like I'm like 6 months pregnant. It's so embarrassing. People get pregnant and they're completely slim build, but then they bloat because the foods they eat are not working for their body. So what are the warning signs and the signals your body's giving you that's not happy about how you're feeling it, how you're looking after it, or not looking after it at all? So that's the first step. What is it telling you? What is it warning you of? And then I want you to think about, okay, so this is taking me X number of years to get to where I am. For me, it was pretty much my entire life, certainly between my 30s to 40s. I mean, I was 38 when I had my accident. Was I 30? No, I was 35. 35 when I first started going to the gym. So I was 35 when I first had my accident and started going to the gym. So really, I say mid-20s to early 30s is where it kind of went out the window for me, where I was so focused on my career that my health went out the window. It was all about working the long hours, getting the projects done, delivering fast as I could, high quality, getting the recognition for being the person who delivered high quality at speed. And as a result, more and more got put on you. So then that work expanded, and there was no time for anything else. So really, it's kind of mid-20s, 30s, that point where you're looking after yourself, you may be looking at a career where we're not living the best lifestyles, because we're focusing on one certain channel of our lives. And that for me was where it happened. So what I'm saying is, where you are now isn't an overnight thing. It isn't a 2-week thing. It's not kind of happened over the last couple of months. It takes years and years and years for us to get to where we are now. So therefore, those short-term wins that you're looking for It's not going to all disappear within the next few weeks. It's not going to happen in the next month. So it's really about you setting yourself up for long-term health, long-term weight loss, opposed to short-term yo-yo diets, weights going up and down. And it's also proven that actually for yo-yo dieters, they tend to put on more weight from when they first started. So you tend to be good, you drop the weight, and then afterwards you go up and it's more than what you started on. So it's really thinking about actually being fair to my body, being true to myself. The mindset I need to have is about the long-term health. And within understanding it's for long-term health, the peaks and troughs of weight loss, if you're going to be using the scales. Okay, so if you're using the scales to jump on, they will peak and trough. Okay, so that means some weeks you'll have downs, some weeks you'll have plateaus, some weeks will increase, and you'll be like, oh my god, what, this isn't working. And that's the point where your head will be going, give up. No point doing this. There's no point restricting yourself. Fuck it, might as well just go with it, eat what I want, drink what I want, because what's the point? But then what you didn't do was jump on the scale the next day to see it dipped back down to maybe the lowest point you've been in a long time. So it's all about the peaks and troughs. So if you are going to go by the scale weight, then you've got to be able to take the emotion out of it. You've got to be able to track it on a daily basis to look at the movements and understand why. See what your body does when you've been out for a meal with the salt retention. See how your body reacts to the alcohol. See how it reacts to the afternoon tea. Whatever it is, see how it reacts to celebrations, parties, and it might plateau. That's okay. And then it'll start to drop again. Or it might go up if you've been on holiday away for a weekend, but then it'll come back down again. So start to use the weight if you want to use scales. Use it to inform your weight loss journey and understand the patterns and flows of your body and how your body reacts to certain foods, reacts to certain alcohols, fluids. Use it as an indicator rather than that's it, I'm done with this is not working for me. Okay, now if you are somebody who can't take the emotion out of the scales, then don't use them. Go by body measurements. But again, if you're somebody who's been traumatized with body measurements growing up and body measurements aren't for you, then go by the fit of your clothes. Okay, now that's a thing to think about what is it you're going to track in terms of your success and what it looks like, but also looking at whole body success. So I mentioned there bathroom scales. So if you're going for scales, use body measurements too. If you're going for body measurements but you don't want to use scales, then just look at the fit of the clothes. And for anyone who is comfortable doing so, go for the before and after pictures. So your body side on, back, front. You'll see loads of these pictures on social media. I don't tend to use them because I know a lot of my clients aren't comfortable sharing those pictures, so I don't force anyone to do that. So think about before and after pictures. And the reason I say this is because there'll come a point where your body shape stops changing so much. And if you jump on the scale and you think nothing's happening, and I've had a client before who's went, oh, I want these transformation pictures. And then she realized after we'd been working together for 3 months, when she took the before and the after, that she had her own transformation pictures, eating 1,600 calories a day. And that's what she was looking for, where she's watching on social media all these women on 800 calories and having these body transformations. And whereas my client actually ate healthy, fueled her body well, worked out as she would do, focusing on strength training, and she managed to get there with 1,600 calories a day, her own body transformation pictures, and she was amazed by it. So really think about what is the thing that's going to help your mindset, your motivation, and what is it you need. And if you don't know, use all of those. Use the scale weight, use the body measurements, use how your clothes fit, use the before and after pictures. These are for your use only. So if you don't know which one's going to work for you, use a medley of them. If you find yourself getting hooked up on the bathroom scales and the emotion, then don't use them. If you find yourself getting hooked up on the body measurements, then again, don't use them. So tune into what works for you. Body pictures before and after, like I say, it's not for you to rip yourself apart. It's so you can see the progress, so that when the scales aren't changing and the measurements start changing, that you have a whole body of evidence, if you like, about what's happening within your body. And one of the questions I always get is around muscle and fat weighing different. They weigh the same, but the difference is that muscle takes up less space than fat. So if you think muscle takes up less space, so if this was fatty around here, then it would be bigger, right? But because it's muscle, that's what you see as being shaped and toned. So if you see a definition around the muscles, I don't know, I'm not squeezing definition around the muscles, right? So you can see the definition because there's not fat there. So they weigh the same, but the look of the body, and it takes up less space. So muscle takes up less space, but they both weigh the same. Okay, so ultimately that is the difference. And that's when you're packing muscle, as we call it, and jump on the scales, it can actually say, you're a bit overweight. And that's where there's a lot of issues with the BMI, because people who are completely healthy, have a lot of muscle, can go by the BMI and be told they're overweight, but they're not. They're very healthy people. It's just they've got a lot of muscle. And to prove this, I used the gym, one of those things you kind of hold on to. I used that earlier. And my stats here, so I have 9 stone 10, and the max kind of ideal weight range is 10 stone 4. So it's not a whole heap. Yes, I'm under it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not like massively under. It's by what, 6 pounds. And then BMI was 23.5. So the upper range from my ideal BMI is up to 25. So that only gives me what, 1.5% of BMI. So I'm quite at the top of the ideal BMI range. And then when we look at body fat, it says 25.2%. Ideal body fat 25 at the lower end, and the upper end is 32.5. And you're like, Julie, you spout numbers at me. So what this is telling me is that I'm an ideal weight, but I'm at the upper range of the ideal weight. In terms of BMI, I'm at ideal BMI. I'm in that range, but I'm at the very top end of that range. But then when I look at body fat, I'm actually almost at the very bottom of the body fat for ideal. So I'm very lean. And body fat mass, again, ideal, I'm 15.5. The lower end is 15.4. So it's that whole thing about these are all indicators. But again, because you're jumping on scales and it's going by weight, by height, it does go by age and gender. They don't have the overall picture of you and your body. So if I was to look at the weight on this, I was to look at the BMI, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm nearly not an ideal. I'm maybe not going to be healthy. I need to do a bit more. But actually, what it is because I've got the muscle, as shown in there by the body fat, that's what makes a difference. So what I'm really saying around weight loss is you need to track using different scales and measurements. So your bathroom scales, if you want to use them, if you can, your body measurements, your before and after pictures. You can use these devices at the machines, at the gyms as well. And you know how you're feeling, your energy, how is you feeling yourself and your mental health, your physical health, and also how you kind of feel like, actually the clothes are fitting me, kind of fit back into my jeans. Are they feeling comfy compared to before? So it's all these measurements, and knowing that within that you're going to have these peaks and troughs. And it's about consistency and being realistic. It's taking all this time to get to where you are now. It's going to take time to come off. And when you start to get a bit fed up and downtrodden, going, well, what is it? If it's because you're restricting yourself so much, then actually this, whatever plan it is you're on, is maybe not working for you. So the ideal exercise, the ideal diet plan is whatever works for you and sustainable for you and still allows you to enjoy life. So whilst you're on your weight loss, you're going to have peaks and troughs. There's times you will feel fed up. There's times you will be tempted to go off the piece, but that's okay, because I say when we have these roller coasters and you might go off and go, sod up, I'm having the chippy. Tune into how you feel afterwards. And I'm not talking about beating yourself up about it, but where's your energy at? Next day, how did you feel for having that thing? And it's more about just testing how that feels within your body, how it feels with your mind, and not to beat yourself up, to go, actually, how did my body react to that food? How did my body react to that? Where's my energy at versus when I'm on the plan? And the client said to me last week, she says she done 4 days straight on the plan of the meals I give her based around food she likes. And she felt so much better for it, for when she just goes and has whatever. So it is that thing about tuning to your body and your energy. And that's what I teach clients, so that they have a plan and then they build off it and work off it so they can go it alone. So it's really about not cutting out any foods. It's what you enjoy, what works for your body, and stripping out what's actually not working for you. And your weight loss journey, as I say, the mindset around it is going to your eyes open, going, be a sponge and learn, be curious, go in and be curious about what works for your body, what doesn't work for your body, and your mindset too. And it's easy to give in saying, oh, my partner eats this, but my partner wants that, kids are on this. Yes, they can, but you get to choose whether you want to feel rubbish or not. And that's as simple as it is for me. I just choose foods based on, do I want that thing? Do I want to feel like rubbish or not? And that's where I base my decisions. So ultimately, mindset, use a matrix of measurements, but with those measurements, don't use the ones where you can't emotionally remove yourself from them and you get wrapped up in it and you get obsessed or beat yourself up on it. Don't use those measurements, but there's a raft of different measurements you use. Be realistic. It's taking you years to get here. It's going to take time for it to come off. And if it's not working for you, review why not. What is it within the plan? Is it because actually the time of it and what you're trying to do, it's not sustainable? You feel like you're missing out too much on life. It's all about finding the best training plan, the best nutrition plan that works for you, or working with someone personalized like myself who will create that for you. And then it's also thinking about actually, where's my energy at? So, alongside the body stuff, where's the energy at? How am I feeling today? What choice am I going to make? What I'm going to do to make sure I feel good and then I feel better, and then I'm able to help and support the people around me more. I'm better to be around, and I feel great, and I feel like the life I'm living is good, right? I feel abundant in energy, abundant in health, abundant in the clothes I can wear, and abundant in opportunities, and you're just feeling good in life and everything's flowing well for you. And when stuff does hit, you can handle it. So yeah, that's my mindset for you. Different measurements, take away the emotions, be in it for long-term health, be in it for a plan and nutrition training that works for you, and be in it for the investment. The investment in your health is so worth it. I've done it since, like, say I was 35, so it's that 7, 8 years now I've been doing it. The long-term health. I've not put the weight back on. Many people thought I would. Many people were sitting in silence going, ha ha, wait till she puts it all back on, then she'll know more about it. Had those comments. Yeah, but I've done it for long-term health. I've lived life. I've not missed out on life. And I now take those 8 years, condense them, and give them to my clients to help them on that journey too. So yeah, going with long-term health mindset, be curious about your body, about learning what works for you, what doesn't work for you, energy, hormones, all that stuff. And yeah, stop beating yourself up and being so hard on yourself. Just go with it. Try, find out things that work for you, things that don't work for you, and then when they don't, then come and give me a shout. If you're stuck, come and give me a shout and drop in the DMs. I'm happy to drop you a little notes about things that you could try, or maybe things that you can't identify right now that aren't working for you, and I might be able to spot those things for you. Ultimately, long-term health is the mindset we need. Be curious, and yeah, let's all fit back into our clothes, be healthier, be happier, and you deserve it, right? Remember, it can be done. You can do it, and I know you can. Take care. Appreciate